Good morning. So in the last class, what did we see in the last class? Can anyone say what did we see in the last class?
Multi-dimensional arrays.
Multi-dimensional arrays. Okay. Okay. So in the last class, we have started with arrays. We have done with one-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. So we have even seen what is irregular arrays, and we have seen what is the alternative array declaration syntax. There were two, one with before parenthesis, one with after parenthesis. These are the two declarations for an array. And we have seen this, how the length of the array size, what is the size I want to know, what is the length, number of elements in that array, then I can display using the length. So then assigning array reference. Okay, so this we have to start. As with the other objects, when you assign one array reference variable to another, you are simply changing what object that variable refers to. You are not causing a copy of array to be made, nor are you causing the content of one array to be copied to the other. For example, consider the program. So here what we have done, we have taken two arrays, num1 and num2, and we have told that in num1 what is the static size we have given for the array is 10. The same way for the second one also we have given 10. So here this is one array num1 and num2 is another array where we have told is 10 10. We are giving assign the storage location. We are informing for the compiler that it should be assigned 10 and 10, and we are reading 10 numbers. That is what number one. Number all 10 will be stored here. It starts from 0, so the last number will be 9. So in the same way here also, this is minus I. So 9 till 0 to 9, it will be printing. So then again here, here we are just printing the here we are taking the values from the for loop and assigning that to array. So in the same way here also, for loop assigning that to the array, then display them. Display the first array, display the second array. Then the first array is being assigned to the second array. Now we are displaying the second array moved values to the first. So that's what here. And what we have done, 99 is assigned to the array 2. So in which position? Which position? Here we are given 3. So in place of third position, we have changing to 99 and display the changed array, that is num2, num1 also. So here num1, it starts from 0 to 9. Num2, array 2 will be starting from 0 minus 2 minus 9. And after assigning this 1, that is array 1 to array 2, the array 2 will be having a positive values. Okay. After that, what we are doing, we are changing this third position to 99. So that's what here, 93 is replaced by 99. So and we are displaying all. So this is what the displaying. So in this program, what we are seeing is we are assigning one array to the other array, and we are changing some position, some values in that particular position. In the position 3, I want to change from 3 to 99. You can do it. We can do anything. So any position we can do. So that's what here we have changed it to change from third position value to 99. So this program shows us how we are referring means from one memory to the other. Now array 1 and array 2 is having different memory locations. Then we are displaying them. After that, we are assigning the num1 to num2. Yes, then we are changing at particular position. So all these we are seeing for the reference of a variable, or assigning a array to the variable as well as object. So from one array to the another array. Okay, so next, length member. So we see this length member more number of times. So this is the second thing where we are saying, because arrays are implemented as an object, each array is associated with the length instance variable that contains a number of elements that our array can hold. In other words, length contains the size of the array. Here the program that demonstrates the length. So we'll just see. So here the length, first list is the size is 10. Second one is how many number, 1, 2, 3. And the next one is table. So on the table is variable length table. Variable, why? Because it is not fixed size. So all the rows is of different sizes. So that's the reason it is called as a variable length table. And we are displaying all the values. First, we are displaying list. So list length is what? 10. So it should display as a 10. So next one, num list. What is the length of the num array? 1, 2, 3. So it should display 3. And what is a table dot length? So it is having how many rows? 1, 2, 3. So 3 will be displayed here. So along with that, first row length. So what is the first row length? What is the second row length? What is the third row length? First row length 3, second row length 2, third row length 4. So this we are displaying. Then we are multiplying each element with its own element and storing that in the list. So, and displaying. So that's what here we have done. So for I equals to 0, I is less than the length. We keep doing it. Multiply one number with another number and display. So in this case, first is 10 elements, second is 3. Table, how many rows we have? 3 rows. And the first row, how many elements we have? 3. Second is 2. Third is 4. Then the list, we are multiplying itself, I itself. So then multiply each values and displaying them. Okay. So even we have seen about for each style for the loop yesterday also. It provides an alternative approach to traverse the array or collection in the Java. It is mainly used to traverse the array or collection elements. The advantage of the for each loop is that it eliminates the possibility of bugs and makes the code more readable. It is known as the for each loop because it traverses each element one by one. So the drawback of the each end loop, so you should know what is the difference between for and for each. So in the for, we can go back and come back, whereas in this enhanced for loop, you cannot go back. There is no option of reversing. You cannot reverse the order. That is one thing. And you cannot skip. So suppose if I want from one position, I want to go to the third. That is not possible here. So that's the difference between ordinary for and this enhanced for. What is the advantage? It makes the code more readable and it eliminates the possibility of programming errors. So why we should use this one is it is very easy for readable as well as eliminates the possibility of the error. The syntax for this: for data type, variable, then the array collection, and whatever we want in this body, that body will be given here. How it works? The Java for each loop traverses the array or collection until the last element. For each element, it stores the element in the variable and executes the body for each loop. So that's what this program says to us. So for each loop, so traversing the array, so what we are doing, how many elements we have? 12, 13, 14, and 44. And how it is traversing from first. What is first? 12. Then print that 12. So next is 13. Sorry, this should be 13. So 13. So then 14, 14. Then 44. So like this, each element, it keeps moving and it is displaying in this program. Okay. So let us see another same program, but we are adding the elements. So now what we have done, array is having 12, 13, 14, 44. And we want to add all these elements and get the total. So that's what here, int total equals to 0, for int I equals to 10, and total what we have, total just initially 12, 12 plus 13, 12, 13, 14 and 44. So like this we keep changing the elements. So 12, 13, 14 and 44. Then for int I array, then total equals to, like this we keep adding and display them. So now 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 44, we are getting 83. Okay. So the same way we have even seen how the strings, how we can pass the strings for the array. So here in this case, we are passing 3 string elements, Vimal, Sonu and Ratan. And we are passing them to the string and we are displaying them. So start from S and keep moving till the list completes and display all the 3 elements. That's about the string. Okay. So then what is Java string? Strings are used for storing text. A string is, what is a string? String variable contain a collection of characters surrounded by double quotes. So then you can see this is an example for string where hello is a one string, and where it is stored in a variable called as a greeting. So in Java, string is a class but not an array of characters. So the features of the string class can be better understood after learning about the concept of in the next chapter, how we do it. And we have arrays here. What is an array of string? A set of characters enclosed within the double quotes can be assigned to a string variable. One variable of type string can be assigned to another variable, another string variable. The object of type string can be used as an argument to print. So now in this case, what we have done, string hello, we are storing hello in a variable called as a string and we are printing that string. Okay. So next, how do we handle the strings and what are the basic fundamentals of string? As just now we have seen what is a string. String is a sequence of characters. So what is a string? String is a sequence of characters, and how it is stored? It is stored in a double quotes. Java implements strings as an object of type string. So what Java is implementing? Java is implementing string as an object of type string. Implementing strings as built-in objects allows Java to provide a full complete of features that make string handling convenient. For example, Java has methods to compare two strings, searching for a string, concatenating two strings, and change the case of letters with a string. So we'll see all these one by one. Also, string objects can be constructed a number of ways. Make it easy to obtain a string when handled. Once a string object has been created, we cannot change the characters of that string. Whenever we need any modification, a new string object containing modification has to be created. However, a variable declared as a string reference can point to some other string object, hence can be changed. In case we need a modifiable string, we should use a string buffer or string builder class. String buffer, string builder class are in the Java. We'll be seeing them, what is string buffer, what is string builder at the end of this unit. Thus, no class can inherit these classes. All these class implements character sequence interface. Okay, so now what is a string? How we have declaring or how we are writing a small program for a string? I just want to display a hello. So where I am storing this hello, we are storing this hello in a greetings, and that greetings is been printed. That's what you can see. What will be my output? Hello will be my output. How to write? Public class main, public static void main string arguments. I told these two lines. The class name you can give anything. So these two lines are very compulsory for any program. And here we are declaring a string that is hello, and we are storing it as a greeting in a variable called as a greetings. And what is a data type? String data type. Then we are just displaying them. So what is system.out.println and display the greetings here. What is this? What is present in a greeting? In greeting variable, we are storing it as a hello. So that's what here, this will be your output. Okay. So the along with that, even in a string also we have a constructor. So how the string constructors are working? There are several constructors we can use in a string class. So we can create an empty constructor using a default constructor. You can see string s equals to new string, and here we are not passing any parameters. That's the reason we call it as a empty string. So next, we can initialize some string to the constructor. So here string is new string. So what is a initialization? We are passing a hello to the constructor. So this is a default constructor, or we are not passing anything. It is empty constructor or empty constructors where we are not passing any values. Whereas in this case, we are passing a string called as a hello to a constructor. Then in the same way, here we have seen empty, here we have seen string. Now we are using a object to create a string object that contains same characters as another string object. So string, we are declaring it as a one method called as a string. In that we are calling the data type as a string, and the name given for the object is string object. So like this, we can create even a constructor and pass the objects to the constructor. Here what we have done, string is passed. Here what we are doing, object is passed. Okay, let us take an example. Hello is one string created, one object created with the name s, and this s is passed to one more object called as a s1. So that's what here we are passing in objects. So s is created, and what is present in s? In s we have a hello, and that s is passed to one more object called as a s1. Okay. So now next way to create a string having initial values. So what is the initial values we have? So we can create. So string What type? We are taking an array here, that is character array, and the data type is character. So let us take one small example. Character, a data type character, and array, we have given it as ch, and we are saying this is array. What is the initial values we are giving? We are giving h is one character, e is another character, l is another character, one more l is another character, then o is another character. Then we are passing this ch to the object called as a s. Yes, but what type of object it is? It is what type of method it is? It is a constructor. You can see here string is a constructor and ch is a array. So we are passing the array to the object created s. So this is one type of constructor. Okay. So one more to specify a sub range of a character array as an initializer for the use of constructor. So what we are doing here, we are using the following constructor, that is string, character, char, that is a array, then integer, start index, then int, number of characters. So that's what we see here for constructor. For example, so here we are storing one more array of characters, array with the character name char ch. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So these are the characters what we are storing in a character array, that is ch. And what we are doing here, we are creating an object called s, and we are passing a ch, but what we are passing? 2 and 3. So now s contains what s contains? Start from 2, start from 3. How many values you have to store? 2 more. So 0, 1, 2. So usually what is a pointer? Starts from 0, first index, second pointer, so third C. So then from there 3 elements C, D, E. So that's what does this S contains? S contains C, D, and E. Someone is asking for joining. Sai Kumar. What time? It's already 10 o'clock. You people are joining now. Okay. So this is about one more type of constructor. Here what we have done, we want in full character, in a full string, I want only some part, that is sub range. That's what here we in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we want only C, D, E. So that's what we have fetched here. Okay, and even though Java character type uses 16 bits to represent the basic Unicode character set, the typical format for a string on the internet use array of 8-bit bytes constructed from an ASCII character set. Because 8-bit ASCII string are common, the string class provides constructor that initializes a string when a given byte array. Okay, so we see some more thing here, some more constructors of different formats. So now, so in this case, you can see, so what is string and byte? We are using a byte here. And what is a character array? ASCII character array. And the syntax for that is byte, ASCII character, starting index, where I have to start the index, and number of characters. So that's what here, let us take 65, 66, 67. What are these? These are the ASCII codes. What is the value of 65? Can anyone say what is 65? ASCII of 65 is what?
Caps letter A.
Correct. Yes. Capital letter A, capital B, capital C, capital D, capital E, and capital F. So for that, we are using in a form of ASCII codes. So that we are storing it in an array called as a ASCII array. And we are passing that array to a object called S1. And what are the values we are passing? We are passing 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. But what is 65? 65 is capital A. What is 66? Capital B. What is 67? Capital C. So like this, D, E, F are passed. This array values are stored in an object called S1. And in S1, again, I want sub range. I don't want complete all this A, B, C, D, E, F. I want in that start from the second position. From second position, how many elements I want? Number of elements is 3. So that's what is starting index. What is our starting index? 2. So 0, 1, 2. So what is 2 here? 67. 67 is what? C. C, D, E I want. That's what here. 3. What is 3? Number of elements, number of characters. 67 is C, D, E. So that's what here in S2, what we will be having? We'll be having C, D, and E. Whereas in S1, what we have? We have A to F. And in S2, we have only 3 elements. That is subs characters we are storing. So this is a syntax for using sub characters. So what is that? Complete array, and from where we want to start, and how many number of characters we want. So that's what here, position and number, how many we want. So position is 2, and how many? 3. C, D, E. Okay. So JDK 5 and higher version has 2 more constructors. So you will be knowing different versions we have. So right now, what is the version of JDK? Can anyone say? Higher version of JDK? What is the higher version of JDK? Right now, what is the highest version the Java developers, Java company has released?
Ma'am, 16.
Okay.
16.1.
Okay. So in JDK, so that was the earlier one where even they have included 2 more constructors. So the first one supports the extended UD core characters. So here the same way, what we have taken here, the same way here also. String, int, code point, then starting from which position and number of characters. Here, what is this code point is? It is a Unicode points. So another constructor is a string builder. So we see what is the string builder later in our end of this chapter. So string builder is a data type, and we are passing the object name is a string build object. Okay, just now we have seen what is a string length. One more time, let us see what is a string length. So string in Java is actually an object which contains a method that can perform certain operations on string. For example, the length of the string can be found with the help of a length method. So now we have seen, so what we are storing, the data type is string. What is a variable? TXT is a variable, and we are storing all these alphabets in a TXT. And we want to print that TXT length. What is the size of this string? Yes. So the same way, how can we write the program for that? So public static void main. So the same line again, storing A to Z in a variable called as a TXT and display that. So when I am displaying, I want the length of this string. So then how we are doing? Text.length. So what it will give me? What is present in this text? What is present in the text? In the text, we have all alphabets. So what is the size of this alphabet? The size of the alphabet is 26. So this is a program where it will display us what is a length of the TXT. In the length of the TXT, what we have stored? We have stored the alphabets. What alphabets we have stored? We have stored all the from A to Z we have stored. So that's the reason the length of the string, the output of this program will be 26. This is one length method. So in the same way, we have some more inbuilt methods or methods available with the string. So to uppercase to lowercase. Suppose I want to convert uppercase to lowercase or lowercase to uppercase. Yes, we can do it. So using a built-in methods called as two upper and two lowercase. So there are many string methods available for example, two uppercase and two lowercase. For example, so we want to store, we have stored hello world in a variable called as a txt. And the data type we have stored it as a string. And we want to convert this to a uppercase. So then what we have done, txt dot to uppercase. You can see here U should be capital, C should be capital. So whenever you are using this built-in methods. So I repeatedly say Java is a case sensitive. Case sensitive means what? Wherever capital is there, it should be capital, or else you'll be turned into something else. So here, hello world, I'm asking this hello world to write it in a capital letters. So then output, we can expect the output as all in a capital letters. Similar fashion, we can do it in a lower case. So we have a built-in function, call that array, call that string, and say what type of method you want to do. So we want it to a lower case. Then the output of this will be hello world. So then can anyone say how can we write a program for this? How should we write a program for this? Yes. So how to write a program for this? You have to just add 2 lines, that is public class main, public static void main, and the string we have told it as a hello world. We are storing it in a text. So and we are displaying 2 lines, that is text to uppercase, text to lowercase. So you can see hello world, one time it will be printing a uppercase for this line, and for this line lowercase. So lowercase will be printed. So this is how you have to practice writing the programs in Java. So here this is just a logic of how to convert. So what we are doing, we are storing this hello world in a variable called a text, and we are displaying to uppercase. So in the same way here, what we are doing, hello world is stored in text, and convert that to uppercase, convert that to lowercase. Okay. So next we move on to some more built-in functions. Finding a characters in a string. So I want index. So I want to know the character in a string. Then we use a built-in function called as an index of. So method returns the index, the position of the first occurrence of the specified text in the string, including a white space. So now let us see, please locate where locate. So in this case, we are storing locate occurs. So this complete string is stored in a txt. And so what I want where is a locate. Where is a locate? So where is a locate? So what is a
txt.
Yes. So it is present in a txt, but I want only that part of my thing. I don't want complete thing. So in that case, so what is the size of this locate? So in this case, the locate is having a quotes also. The output we will be getting it as a 7. The same thing, how we can write it in a program. So this is how we can write it in the program and display that as a locate. So what is the index of the locate, in which position it is? Okay, so next we move on to the concat. Yes.
It will consider only first locate.
Yes. So that's what here you can see. The position, first occurrence of the specified string. What do we have told? What is the first occurrence? Locate I want. Where is locate? Yes. Index
if we have given a paragraph, for example, if we have given a paragraph and there are several same kind of word like study.
Yes, I understood. But here they have specific. Yes.
Ma'am, is there any method that we can find the word study in the next place is there?
We have to write our own logic. But here in this syntax, what they are saying is wherever the first occurrence of whatever word. Now in our case, we told locate is our string. I want to know where the locate is. Yes, you can do. What you are saying is locate may be repeated 100 times in the paragraph. Yes, then you have to use one more built-in method called as a count along with this index of, then count how many times the locate is there. So combining these two, you can find out how many locate are there in the paragraphs.
Okay.
Okay. So next we move on to the concatenation. So what do we mean by concatenation? Concatenation means combining. So what operators we use? There are 2 methods here. First we'll see first method, then we move on to the next method. So here one method is using a plus operator. So for concatenation, there are two ways of concatenating. The first method is using a plus operator. So the plus operator can be used between strings to combine them. So this is called as a concatenation. What do we mean by concatenation? Concatenation means combining. So how we are combining? The first method of combining is using a plus operator. What we are using? We are using a plus operator. Okay, let us take a small example. So the first string is a John. The second string is a Dio. So I want to combine these two, John and Dio, as one particular thing. So first, what I am storing? I am storing John string in the variable called as a first name, and Dio I am storing it in a last name. And what are the data types we are saying? These two data types we are saying it as a string. And what we are doing? First, input system.out.println, we just want to print. Then call the first string, that is first name. Then use a plus operator. Then call this Dio in the last. Using the plus operator, we are combining this. Same, how can we write a program for this? So let us see here. So the same thing, we are just adding a John, we are adding a Dio to the last, and we are combining them using a plus. So then this, after John, Dio will be combined. This is one way, where in this way we are using a plus. Okay, so one more method, let us see. So you may ask me, what is this? This is for a space. Yes. Okay, so next, one more method, that is built-in method itself we have, that is a concat. This is a method called as a concat. The same concatenation we are doing. Concatenation again is what? Combining. But here with the specific name, we are using a concatenation method. Concat, you can also use a concat method to concatenate two strings. Same way, John and Dio. But here you can see this in printf statement. What is the difference? Yes, first method dot concat. What we want to concat? The next string. So what string you want to concat? You put it in the concat method. So here I want to concat last name to the first name. So that's the reason, concat within that last name. So how to write a program for this? You just add 2 lines of code. Then that will be your program. So same way I told you, public static class, these 2 lines are compulsory for any program. And what is a logic, whatever the code, whatever methods, whatever you want to implement, that should be within this bracket. So that's what here. John is we are passing for first name, Dio we are passing for last name. So the second method I told you, that is using a concat. First method is plus, second method is concat. So both you can, anyone, it's left to you. There is no restriction saying that you have to use this, you have to use this. You can use anyone. Either you can use plus operator or you can use a concatenate operator. So it's better for us to understand if you use a concat, because it will be easy for us to say concat. But sometimes we may get confused with the plus addition and a plus operator. So it's for us convenient, it is better to use a concat. Okay, so this part Geo and Dio will be concatenated. This is a second method. First method is plus, second method is concat. So that's what here, 2 methods for combining. Okay, next we see some more special characters, special variables, like I want to use a comma, I want to use a apostrophe, I want to use double apostrophe. Yes, I can use. So in my programming, because string must be written within quotes, Java will misunderstand this string and generate an error. So we know that how the strings are. So if I say string, means it should be used in a double quotes. So sometimes that's what they're saying. They may understood as a wrong. So in this case, you can see wing is here. This is used in a double quotes, right? But so this will be misunderstood by the compiler. We can understand that this is complete string, but the compiler will misunderstand because we have represented them in the double quotes. So the solution to avoid this problem is to use a backslash escape characters. So we have some special characters into the string. So something like, if you want to represent a single quote, that is you want like this the result, then you have to use a slash. That too you have to see which slash, so that specified backslash. So you'll be knowing what is backslash and what is front slash. In our keyboard there are two slashes. Always you remember we have to use a backslash. And if you want to represent double quotes, so then you have to say slash and double quotes. If you want to represent a backslash, then you have to use a double slash. So this is how special characters which we have to use in our, if we feel that we want to use them, single quote, double quote, slash. Then how you have to use in your programming? In that you have to use a backslash front. You have to prefix the backslash before whatever operators you want to use. Either you use a single quotes, double quotes, or a slash, but before you have to use a backslash. This is about a special characters. So in the same way, we may use all these escape sequence, that is slash n. So why we want this slash n? I want to be printed in the next line. So slash r, this is also carriage written. It is similar like in uline. Then I want a space between two strings. Then I can use a stab. I want a one space, backspace. I can use this slash b. Or I want a form field. So all these you can use. I'll just show one example. Rest of things you can try. So I'll just show for a new line. In that new line, you can replace all these rest of the 4 and you can execute and try. So that's what here you can see. Hello, in between hello, I don't want to combine. I want hello in one line, word in another line. Then in between I can use a slash n. Then print. So that's what here the output. It will be hello in one line, word will be another line. Same way you replace, instead of slash n, you replace with all the other. You replace next time a slash r, next time you replace a slash t, next time you replace slash b, next time you replace a slash f, and see what is happening in your output. So here in the slash n, hello is printed in one line, word is printed in another line. So in the same way, if you use slash a t, so hello will be here. After that, some tab, inbuilt tab size will be there. After that, word will be printed. So like this, try out with other escape sequences. Okay, so I've just given one program. So in the same program, what you have to do, instead of slash n, you use one time slash r, next time you use slash t, next time you use slash b. So like this, these two, slash b and slash f, all these you can try out. The same program, and check out how will be your output. Yes? Okay. So next we move on to a string operators. So string operations, what are the different string operations we can do? So Java supports many string operations, though there are several string handling methods available. For the use of programmer, Java does many operational automatically without requiring to call a separate method. So this adds clarity to the program. We will now see such operations. Sorry, this is small. I'll make it a bigger one. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so string literals. So instead of using characters, arrays, and a new operator for creating a string instance, we use a string literal directly. So for example, that's what just now I showed you the same thing. So character, we are storing hello in a CHR. So what are these? All these are the literals, string literals, and we are storing in the array, and we are assigning that array to a object S1. Either you can do like this, or you can directly pass something like this. So string hello, and this S, we are passing this hello directly to S2. Either you can do it like this, 2 lines, or you can do it in a single line. The same way can be rewritten for just simply like this. So the other way of writing the same, you can directly assign S3 something like this. Then string object can be created for every string literal, and hence we can write, if I want the length of the string, we just saw hello dot length will give me a size of the hello as 5. So the same way, concatenation, just now we have seen how to concatenate. So age is 9, and we are storing both. E is how many years? 9 years old. So we want to combine this. So we can write E is 9 years old, and we are storing that in a S. So we are storing in S. We are storing this number in some other variable called as a age, and we are combining all this. So this is how it is printing. So one practical use of string concatenation is found when you are creating very long string instead of letting long string wrap around. When your source code, you can break them into a smaller piece using a concatenation. So the something like this could have been a very long line that could have wrapped around. So there are 4 lines like this. So all these can be broken into smaller using a concatenation operator, and you can print them at a 1 paragraph. So this is what the thing. So I'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class. I will just show you how you people have assigned your Google Classroom. See how you have posted. Some people are even repeatedly saying how did they assign their programs. I told you people to load in a proper place. See, after doing also, how many people have loaded in a wrong place. See, repeatedly I told you, please paste it in a proper place. After doing also, you have submitted, but in a wrong place. Because you have submitted in a wrong place, it is showing that 2 people have signed, but they have not submitted. Lakshmi and Harshit. Are there here? Lakshmi, Harshit, Dakshayani?
Yes, ma'am.
You can just ask these 2 people, that is Harshit and Lakshmi, to resubmit the program 1 and 2. You can see here, right? And that's what I am sharing. So these 2 people have submitted, but they have submitted in a wrong place. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. I will tell them in break.
Yes. Ask them to resubmit this Harshit and Lakshmi. Okay. For
Yes,
program 1 and 2. Similarly, let me show you program 3. See, program 3 also, how many people have not submitted, or see, these are the people. Banu Prakash is here. Banu Prakash, Diksha, Harshit, Sai Kumar, Santosh, Jay and Santosh. There are 2 Santosh here. Yes. So ask these people also please to resubmit in a proper place. They have submitted in a wrong places. So that's the reason.
Ma'am, can you repeat those 6 names, ma'am? Or shall I?
Yeah. Yes.
Banu, Diksha, Sai Kumar, Santosh and Jayant.
Harshit also. Harshit.
Okay, ma'am.
Not Jayant. Not Jayant. Jayant is not here. Santosh, 2 times it is repeated. Maybe only one Santosh.
Yes, ma'am.
In your class, do you have 2 Santosh? Right? No.
No, ma'am.
Only one Santosh, right? So then it is only 5 people. You can just ask them to resubmit. Okay. So I'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class. So maybe next class will be the last for your first unit. I hope so. Next class I'll complete the first unit. Today's date is 5/6. Answer your attendance. Anaga,
Yes, ma'am.
Abhilash,
Present, ma'am. Mic issues.
Present, ma'am.
Akil, Akrut,
Yes, ma'am.
Anusha,
Yes, ma'am.
Arvind,
Present, ma'am.
Arifullah,
Yes, ma'am.
Beneka,
Yes, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Banu Prakash, Bhargav,
Yes, ma'am.
Rahmatullah. Okay, marked. Chaitra,
Present, ma'am.
Chandana, Charan,
Yes, ma'am.
Darshan.
Present, ma'am.
Sir, last class absent, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Diksha, Diksha.
Diksha present, ma'am. Mic issues.
Okay. Dakshayani.
Present, ma'am.
Last class you were absent?
Me, ma'am.
Kishan? Yeah?
No, I was present, ma'am, last class.
Not Kishan, Dakshayani.
No, ma'am, I was present in last class.
You were present, you didn't answer or something. Okay.
Ma'am, I
You're
have
marked.
answered.
Okay. Marked.
Yes, ma'am.
Kishan,
Present, ma'am.
Harshit. Harshit is your Emilata.
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am, Arshit B is present, ma'am.
Yes, present, ma'am.
Okay. Uma,
Present, ma'am.
Jayant.
Present, ma'am.
Jayant is Divya.
Yes, ma'am.
Kaushik.
Present, ma'am.
Lakshmi.
Present, ma'am. Mic issue.
Yeah, Lavanya. Manish.
Present, ma'am.
Lavanya is present.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Manoj.
Present, ma'am.
Mohit.
Present, ma'am. Mic issues.
Naval.
Yes, ma'am.
Navya.
Present, ma'am.
Nikhil.
Present, ma'am.
Panindra.
Present, ma'am.
Pavan. Pawan. Pooja.
Present, ma'am.
Purnima.
Yes, ma'am.
Raman.
Present, ma'am.
Rashmi.
Present, ma'am.
Rupak.
Yes, ma'am.
Sai Kumar. Sai Kumar. Samir.
Present, ma'am.
Santosh.
Present, ma'am.
Sadab. Santosh, you submit your programs in proper place.
Yes,
Sadab.
ma'am, sir.
Present, ma'am.
Sharan.
Present, ma'am. Mic issue.
Shashank.
Present, ma'am.
Sheetal.
Present, ma'am.
Shivani.
Present, ma'am. Mic issue.
Soumya.
Present, ma'am. Present,
Spurti.
ma'am.
Spurti. Sri Vishnu. Sugandhini.
Present, ma'am.
Sushma.
Present, ma'am.
Sushmita. Sushmita. Sushmita, you.
Present, ma'am.
Tirtha.
Present, ma'am.
Trupti.
Present, ma'am.
Varsha. Veena.
Present, ma'am.
We'll start
Ma'am, Lavanya present, ma'am.
Marked Lavanya.
Ma'am. Ma'am, I have resubmitted the program
Yes.
print, ma'am. Can you check it?
Okay. Yeah, Banu Prakash, I'll check.